Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm going to talk about Hank for season 4 here, alright? This is where we see Hank in the bed a lot. And one of his friends from APD, the Albuquerque Police Department, comes in and he brings him some files from Gail Bedeker's um, case. And Hank starts to look into that. So we see him here, like I said, he's in the bed, he's getting agitated with Marie a lot. He starts to collect his minerals a lot. This is where we get that, they're not rocks, they're minerals, Marie. Yeah, that's this season right here. But it's funny because we see Hank in bed and he's not moving, he's not really doing much of anything, but this is when he really does the most in the season because this is where we see him. He looks into Gail Bedeker, and that's how he makes a tie to Los Pollos. That's where he gets this lead on Gustavo, and that's he sees the napkin that they counted for Gail's evidence, and so everyone tells him that he's reaching, that this is far, and that he shouldn't be chasing after Gustavo. He's a friend of the police department, but Hank knows someone as clean as he is has to be dirty. So we see him. He's getting better. He tries to trail Gustavo. He gets Walt and Walt Jr. to help him out, but he doesn't really get any evidence because Fring plays it really cleanly. But like we said, everyone thinks Hank is going crazy, but really, this is where he's his most effective. And these episodes that are in this season, even though he's in bed, he spends a lot of time looking over this evidence, and it might be that his his inability to move around and do a lot of things led him to just sit around and go crazy over this Heisenberg case. And of course, Hank, he's always trying to find out Heisenberg, regardless. So that's why he's trying to make those ties from the Gail Bedeker murder. And when he finds that napkin, that's where he comes from. That's where it comes from. So really, we see Hank. Like I said again, he's in bed. He's going crazy over Maria. They've been around each other so much. She's just trying to be helpful, help him out, and he's just getting tired of it. Starts collecting his rocks, starts looking into things, and I think we see him. He starts to lose confidence because he thinks that maybe he is going crazy after he hears all of his friends tell him, all of his friends in the DEA are telling him that you shouldn't go after Fring. He's a good guy, and all the interview with Fring and all those things that happened. And after all that, he still thinks that he's got some evidence for that whole case. And Hank starts to lose a little confidence in himself, where he used to be, ASAC Schrader, the bomb, Hank Diggity, or not ASAC. I'm sorry, he becomes ASAC after this, but he used to be Hank Schrader, #1 DEA agent, but here we have him like, oh man, maybe I might have gone crazy a little bit. Maybe I might be pushing the limits just a little bit, going after this guy Fring. But Hank, he does believe that Gustavo is too clean and that he might be dirty, but what everyone's telling him makes him second guess himself a little bit. That's really much all we really know about Hank in season 4. He's very active, even though he's in bed a lot. He ties up a lot of loose ends, and most of the evidence that he, not evidence, but most of the conclusions that he draws during this season lead him to ultimately uncovering Madrigal, finding Gustavo, figuring out the whole thing, and that ultimately, as we know, leads to the Heisenberg find out and all of that. But that's really all there is for Hank for season 4.